as everybody runs madly to give permission. Thank you all and welcome. It's the 11th month and the 11th day, and we are in the final stretch of the Grasp the Bird's Tail sequence that we're learning and fundamentals and enjoying that. I have several announcements today. One is to just clarify that we're going to have, oh, let me put you back where I can actually see you all. Thank you. We're gonna have class today, and then we're gonna have class next week, which is the 18th. And then the Wednesday right before Thanksgiving, we will skip. So if you've got a turkey to get into the oven or something else going on, I do. It's, my husband's 70th birthday is on Thanksgiving, and so there's all sorts of stuff to think about, get ready. So I'm gonna take that day off, and then we'll start again right after that in December. And we're gonna start a new module then. It's gonna be around cloud hands. We may have some new students joining us, but cloud hands is a really wonderful activity. We won't have to work a lot on bow step with them. We'll be doing a lot of body shape and arms. So I think there's a lot to learn there that you'll all really enjoy. And it's a good one to do for when you may have a lot of new people coming in too. Then we'll start another new module at the beginning of the year. And I'm looking at several things on that, including golden rooster stands on one leg. I understand from a reliable source that that may be a good thing for balance. So I want to look into that. So if you guys know of more information on how people have talked about that being good for balance, I'd love to have that reference. So you can email that to me or whatever. But I have heard a lot about how that, you know, is a really good thing to be working on for your balance, and I've wanted to incorporate that. So I'm not sure what else we'll be putting in there, but I am looking forward to that being a part of that as well. So that's what's coming up. If you decide, I mean, you may want to leave the class after this module, or if you want to keep going, that's what's happening coming up. And of course, we bring new folks in at the beginning of each module, but we always also handle the needs of the folks who've been here for a while. So that's sort of the, oh, and lots of other new classes are going to be starting in January. So there'll be a new section 1 class. Not quite sure. I think lots of the classes are turning over in January, but I don't think all that schedule has been announced yet, but they'll be starting it right at the beginning of January. The section 1 class, Judy is going to be teaching it, and she's really fabulous. So if you want to take that again or for the first time, go for it. Right. The other thing I want to tell you is that for these 2 weeks, today and next time, this is really your opportunity to get into what you would really like to accomplish. We've introduced ourselves to Grasp the Bird's Tail. Some of you already knew it, and some of you have had Grasp the Bird's Tail for the very first time. What I'd like to do is build familiarity and comfort and have you feel that you chose 1 or 2 or 3 things to work on and that you made some progress during that time. So what we're going to do this week and next is I'm going to warm you up. We're going to do a little bit with Grasp the Bird's Tail, and then I would really like you guys, so you can be thinking about this, sort of where in your body as we warm up and as we do Grasp the Bird's Tail, does it like feel right? Does it feel good? Does it feel fun? You know? And where in your body is like, I it never feels right, you know, or anything in between, right? So if you're willing and able to give that feedback, you can do it through chat, or you can do it through just asking a question after we warm up, or even during the warm up, so you don't want to, or what we're doing, so you don't want to forget. I don't have a problem. If you want to be unmuted, if you sort of shout out, it's right here, don't let me forget, you know, I'll try to help you remember. And then, you know, kind of like that, what are the rough spots? You know, where would you like to feel more comfortable? That could be something in your body, or that could be something in the sequence itself. Like, that's just the part that doesn't quite work for me. So this is more than ever your class this week and next, as we come to the end of the time. If anyone has a sort of a thought right now about what they're not comfortable with, I'm happy to listen to that. Maybe we can even work it into our warm up. I see, Marie, did you have something you want to say?
No. I was going to say at some point I talked to Judy, and she suggested if I wanted to practice Golden Rooster, I should start with grasping the bird's tail.
Well, see, this is perfect.
It's,
I can talk to you more about that, Maria, but I've heard it elsewhere. And I really think that even that doing it completely, for those of you who don't know, some of you are new, you know, Golden Rooster, the whole thing involves, you know, it's a pretty complicated. I don't know if you can actually see me. I may be too close to you. Oh wait, I did. Sorry, I did something else after we're at. But the first part where one hand goes up and one goes down and your leg comes up, that's Golden Rooster, stands on one leg. And actually, a lot of people who talk about it being good for balance are the ones that are you know, suggesting just this activity, you know, this moving of the arms up and down and the leg up and down. I want to look at that and help to teach that, just that part of it, not all the coming back and, you know, but I want to teach it as an exercise to some extent. And then we can also go into learning the other stuff, but that's going to be in January. That's not going to be now. So for those of you who came in late, just a reminder that we have this class and next week's. Then we take off the Wednesday, that's the Thanksgiving week in the United States. I think we're all close, almost all of us are from the United States. And then we'll be coming back in December. We'll do a very short module around cloud hands. It'll be about 3 weeks long. And then we'll be, in January, we'll come back again, and that's yet to be determined, but I'm hoping to get a Golden Rooster in there somewhere, because I think it's so a number of people here and in the other class who want to work on their balance, and this kind of exercise would be very good exercise for that. So that's kind of where we are. For those of you who came in late too, we're looking today and next week to get comfortable with, Master Yang talks about becoming familiar with your body and what it can do and its possibility and where it's and where what's your learning curve on it, and becoming familiar with the sequence, and the two go back and forth. So we kind of want to go back and forth, and I'm going to really ask you for feedback on where you are, like what are the rough spots for you in what we're doing. And it doesn't matter what level you are. You can be brand new and say, I don't know where that arm goes. That's fine. Or you could be asking something else. That's what we're going to try to do this week and next. So let's warm up. I realize I've been talking now for way too long. Let's just warm up. And let's just start with the way we've been starting recently, feeling very erect and grounded As we do this more and more, you should be able to do this a little faster with your own internal checklist. Really relaxing that lower back and having this sense of weight go into your feet, feeling your spine extended. That fishbowl on the top of your head, maybe right at the top of the head, feel a golden cord that goes all the way up into the clouds. And then suspend yourself. Oh my goodness. Those shoulders, just be like a hanger hanging from that golden cord. But somehow it doesn't hurt. It doesn't pull too much. Play around a little bit with your spine, the lower part of your spine. If you had sort of a tail coming right out the bottom of you and you kind of tipped it forward, back, or left, right, could almost sweep the floor with it a little bit. Can you get it right in the center? Get yourself very, very centered, grounded. Weight entirely on every part of your feet. You feel your feet. And then those tips of your fingers, little weights on the tips of your fingers, so your arm is extended. Each arm is extended. Now we're going to feel a stretch of connection and expansion across our back. It's going to turn our upper arms, then our arms are going to float up. And as they come down, we're going to push a ball, but we're also going to bend our knees this time. When we get to the bottom, we're going to come up. And down. Nice. You're expanded, expanding. When you go up with your knees, feel that your spine can expand a little bit as well. And when you go down, keep that expansion in your spine. You are held by that golden cord. We can inhale as we go up and exhale as we go down. Lovely, you guys. And then inhale as we go out. Exhale as we go in and down. Out and up. You can go ahead and stretch a little. And in, down. One more time. Stretching all the way gently, gently to your fingertips. And now we're going to straighten our legs. And do opening. Remember opening, we float up and we just come down, pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. And then we're going to do it one more time. Our legs are not locked, but they're straight. We're coming up. And your whole arm, each part of it is extended. One more time, I want you to feel that extension. Right here when we're by our sides, I want you to feel that your middle finger maybe is got a little weight on it and it's there, but now it's not so much the weight as Feel that extension, which goes all the way could you like get an extra 1/4 of an inch maybe by just between each bone and joint, unless you have a tendency to hyperextend, giving it a little bit more room. Then I want you to keep that room. If you have a tendency to hyperextend, then keep it together as you go up and come down. Oh, this looks so much better. One more time. And up. And down. Lovely. Let's go through the grasp the bird's tail sequence. And remember, we've got questions for you today. Where in all this are you feeling just not comfortable? Something's going on in your body or somewhere else. And where, or in the sequence, like, I don't know what's going on there. Or, oh, I love that part. Can we do it again? You know, whatever it is that is like makes you feel, I'd really like you to have both. So let's go through grasp the bird's tail the first time, and whatever comes to you, I would like you to look for both. Like, oh, hey, that's like the first time I got that, you know, or I'm feeling kind of comfortable about that part and not about this. See if you can figure that out. Let's follow me and follow my call. Standing shoulder width apart, are ready and prepare. This is what we just were doing. Opening, arms coming forward, arms extended. Droop those elbows, pushing down. Your arms still have this extended, connected feeling until they can't push anymore. Then we're shifting our weight a little to the left so that the weight goes to the heel of the right foot, and we turn more towards the corner. Then bend both legs, come over, stand on that right foot, push the button and close step. Big bird on the bottom arm. And as we move, push with the back foot, turn to the corner and grasp that bird's big macaw's tail as we look to the side of the room. Then we bend that's left ward off, right ward off. We're going to bend that right leg a little and turn to the right until our left foot points to the corner. Our feet are parallel now. We push with the right foot and pull with that left arm out, watching it as we go. Now we're standing all the way on our left foot. Close our arms, look to the side of the room, step. We have a small bird on the lower arm. A sparrow, you're going to grasp its tail. Roll back. You're going to be turning away from me now, but you've done this a lot. We're going to royal wave to that corner on your right, pushing out with the right hand. The left hand's fingers are pointing to the center of the right forearm. Then we're going to push with that front leg, bend the back leg, and just turn to the left corner, not moving our arms. Press. That right hand has momentum. It circles around. We royal wave with the left hand until we're a little bit scrunched, yet we're kind of springy. And we spring forward, pressing forward, pushing with the back foot, absorbing with the front, bending the front knee. Our arms separate, our shoulders come square with the side of the room. You've extended your arms. you're pulling in as you come back. You're a gorilla now. Up the diagonal for push. Grasp the bird's tail. Oh, you guys look great. All right, so what's feeling particularly good and or is working for you? What is uncomfortable, whatever. Feel free to unmute yourself. Hi, Anke.
I think when we started turning to the corner and I don't know how many times we've moved our feet, but the last 4, 5, 6 moves, I'm very unsteady. I'm not sure where my weight is. They're trying to be flat. When is my heel allowed off the ground? Anyway, I felt like my weight was supposed to be on the left, but I was very wobbly.
Okay, good. That is an excellent way to describe that feeling. This is very, very common for people to as they move their weight, that heel will come, like if you're moving forward, the heel comes off the ground. Until you're pushing to stand up, unless I say your weight moves into the heel or your weight goes entirely on the other foot, both feet, do you see how my feet are flat on the ground? I don't know if you can see, now my back foot is up. You see that?
Right, yes.
Right. So if you think gorilla, you'll probably put most of your weight here. How about we do that again? And I will try to give you more tips on where the weight is.
Okay, that'll help, because I also think my feet were maybe getting too close together in terms of my own balance. They need to be farther apart. And so I was having issues of where to place the feet as well as whether they were flat.
Right. So these are all bow steps. So when I say step out, right? So I'm going to do this towards you, but I'll do it like a mirror, right? So when we pivot, so when we move a little over here, we still got, we can pivot. We still got some weight on both feet to the corner. And then again, I am your mirror right now. And then I am moving my weight over here until I can pick this up. There's a real tendency to want to step like this and be real narrow. But what you want to do is step out on those railroad tracks. And it's just an unfolding. So every step in Tai Chi, you should be able to take it back. Every single one. Doing this will make you very tired very fast and build your muscles. But when that heel comes down, then you can start pushing that heel into the ground and then pushing from the back and coming into the front. But yeah, absolutely. That's the other thing that can make your balance uncertain. So if you're just starting in Tai Chi, which you are, it is perfectly normal for both of those things to be happening, and that you're aware of it is perfect. So let's do it again. And think a little bit like a gorilla in your lower body, and let's be conscious of where our weight is going. I won't give as many arm tips here. So we're going to do opening. Both feet are flat on the ground. We're coming down now. We're pushing down. Our feet are grounded. Our weight is centered. We're going to shift our weight a little to the left, really feeling that left foot, moving the weight into the right heel, turning out, our arms swinging forward a little. Then we're going to move our center over onto the right foot. It's all the way down on the ground now. And we're gonna let the left heel come up. And we're turning back and stepping out. Look down and see if you're on railroad tracks as we step close. Then we're pushing with the back foot and putting that whole left foot on the ground. Both feet are on the ground now. Left knee is bent and we're towards the corner. So let's look down and check our bow step. Does it look like we are on railroad tracks? Does it look like your back leg is straight or straight-ish? And your front, your left knee is bent and over your toes? And are you open? So again, you can get your gorilla on. Then we're gonna push with the left foot into the right foot. You're gonna kind of extend that left foot leg a little bit. And you're gonna have the weight now in your left, in mostly your right foot and a little in your left heel as you turn. Now your feet are parallel, but almost all the weight is on your right foot. We're gonna push with that right foot and start to straighten that right leg and go stand on the left foot and you're facing the corner. And now you're in the push the button with the left hand. And I have picked up my right heel. Most of my weight is on that left foot. In fact, at this moment, I'm getting ready to move. So I need to completely move all the weight over to the left. In fact, I could bring that right foot in, and that's usually what happens. Your right foot just comes in a little, and then it comes out as you close. Then we're pushing with the left foot and moving our weight into the whole right foot as we do right ward off. Did that clarify anything?
That helped. There were still parts where either my feet were too far apart for comfort, or but at the end there, they were in better position than before. So
right. So the rule of the road is I'll just ask folks to kind of look down periodically at their bow step, and you really need to think about railroad tracks. And that's why I have these railroad tracks here. You kind of need those in your head. And it's really hard because there's a real, especially when you're turned to a corner, you know, why not just put your leg out like that, right? Wouldn't that be easier than putting it out like this? But it turns out that, you know, once you move, this is going to make it easier to do all that other stuff because you have the room in between your feet. Make sense to everybody? It's just going to take practice, and we got lots of time to practice. So that'll be the thing you're probably working on today is the feet. Anyone else have something they want to get more comfortable with? All right, well, let's do it again because I want to give us lots of practice in this. Let's do it again, and let's still concentrate on our lower body a little bit. I want you to get your gorillas on, okay? And I want to make a couple comments about that. So one of the reasons I say use the gorilla, so just for a moment, just sort of feel it, is that when you've got your gorilla on, there's a real tendency to, I think I've told you this before, to relax back here and to open in these creases. You see that? Just see how my legs go like this? My knees really are over my toes. Most of us stand kind of like this, right? But their knees really aren't over their toes. Open. It's just like the difference between this and this, right? This and this. There's a joint, there's a crease here, and you want to be rounded. They call the stance we're talking about in part a bow stance, not just because, as we proved, if you were going to use a bow, you'd want to stand in a stance like this on rocky ground. Do you remember when we did that? We stood on rocky ground in the wind, and you guys all immediately went into something kind of like this. It may not have been as far apart, but you had the stability in all of your directions. But also because there is a bow in your legs, in your, I mean, I kind of wish I had had something that was more colored, but it comes up, I don't know how easily you can see it. It comes up like this. You are bowed, you are rounded like an arch. And arches are much stronger and can take much more, every part of an arch reinforces itself. So the more you are like an arch, like a bow here or here, the better, the more you can do, the stronger you are without having a lot of strength. Okay, because it's just a better form. Yeah, Maria.
Those moves to the right and left are so subtle. And sometimes I just use my legs, but I think it starts from the lower part of the body so that you can turn in order to get that parallel.
Yeah, the energy usually, there's just two places that you can think of all of these movements coming from. Definitely your energy to do something is generally going to come from a push, you know, like a push with a foot or a leg. But the other place, but your center body, the whole center of you, where your center of gravity is also built to give you all sorts of control over everything that you do. So yes, put those together. Let's just do it again. I'm talking a lot. Let's do it again. And we're going to do it. We're going to get our gorillas on. So you don't have to be beautiful here, right? I want you to really, let's just do the footwork with the gorillas on, all right? So we can keep our upper body erect if we want to, or we can be however gorilla-y we want. But I want you to really feel like a rocky ground, a gorilla on a little bit of a rocky ground, digging their toes in or whatever, all right? Now, we're gonna shift to the left and then move the weight into that heel in the right side and pivot. Then we're gonna push with the left foot and just move our weight over, and our hips start to go to the corner. And now we can lift this foot up. Lift this foot up. I want you to make sure it goes out on railroad tracks, just extend it. It doesn't have to go far. Then push with the back leg, absorb with the front leg, but be a gorilla about it. Turn to the corner. Maybe that's where your, turn to the corner. Maybe that's where your friend or your enemy is, in the corner, and be really, really down, really bowed. Now, in actuality, this is where we would end up with our arms, right? So we'd, but our whole body is almost, our upper bodies might be a little turned, but only our head is looking in this direction, right? So there we are. We're gonna now push with our left leg in, move some weight into the right leg, but we have enough in our left leg, in our heel, that we can turn. And yeah, I think at this point you feel like you're turning from your middle, Maria. I do anyway. I feel like I'm turning from my middle because I kind of get to the middle and then I turn. So you can think of being a pole, and once you get to the middle, let's go back this way. we're in our bow stance. And we're actually in this one, we're actually very erect. When we push and bend the right knee a little bit, so both knees are bent, we're kind of right in the center of everything. And then we can just turn as if we're turning on a pole. And then, Anka, you should feel very balanced at that point, right?
Pretty
Then
much.
we're, if you turn on the pole and your feet are parallel, now you should kind of look like where you started, your feet are out. We're gonna push with the ball of the right foot. All of our weight into the left foot, all of it, so that you could actually pick that right foot up. In fact, you could just drop it so it comes in. That's actually part of the move. And then I want you to think of it kind of going out to the corner. It's not, your toes won't point to the corner, but you're going to have to get it wide enough. Is it wide enough? Because your left foot's your new back foot. Push with the back foot, absorb with the front foot, and you're in your bow stance. For those of you who have done this before and you know what you're doing, this is the moment when you ask, am I really engaging these muscles? Am I getting stronger? Am I really gorillaing? Am I really open here? And if it's the first time that you've done these kind of moves, what you need to be thinking about is, am I really railroad tracks apart, shoulder width apart? Because your balance is going to be best, right? If you're not standing on a tightrope, right? Your balance is going to be best if you're standing shoulder width apart.
Thanks, Dee Dee.
Okay. All right. Anything that's feeling particularly comfortable for anybody? Do you have a favorite part of these moves? You like, I see Rebecca going like this. You like that big move. Yeah. I like the birds. I like the birds too. They're very nice. Anyone else have a favorite part? Well, let's do some more then. I want you to feel that, where is this pole? So we're going to work our way up from the bottom. So I want you to start where you've pushed down, where your weight is really centered, but I want you to also feel what Kelly calls your Tai Chi pole. So I want you to take a moment right now to really feel as if you have a pole that goes almost to the floor and to the sky. And it's there, if you're conscious of it, you can turn on it. And it doesn't go all the way to the floor, so you can move it. So we're gonna push with our right foot and get our pole going a little more to the left, but it's still very, very upright. And then we're gonna turn out on that right heel, but as we turn, we're just turning on the pole. Are you turning on your pole or not? Are you turning on your pole or not? Now we're gonna turn back, move our weight over and sit. But are you still, is your head still part of that pole? Or have you like looked down? All your weight is on the right foot. So we can unfold the left foot, reach out with that right hand and sort of under with the left and put that heel down. Then pushing, we're gonna do Rebecca's favorite part. We're gonna push, absorb, turn to the corner and grasp that macaw's tail. How about your pole? Right now, it should go straight up through your head and down. Now that pole's going to stay going straight up and down as you're going to move it a little bit to the center, to what's sort of the new center, and move your weight on more onto the heel of your left foot, but more of your weight is on your right foot, and you turn to the right. Then pushing with the right foot, we're gonna do that wave and get all of our weight on the left foot. Our right heel's off the ground. You still have that Tai Chi pole. Your Tai Chi pole right now should go from the clouds through the top of your head, right down to your left heel. All right. Now, pick up that right foot, let it come in as you start to close, and then step out for that bow stance. Anki, as you've got, did you step far enough? And then push. It's a little bird. Now your Tai Chi pole, your head is straight, but the pole from the sorry about that, guys. All right. How are we feeling on those two? I got some thumbs up. All right. Anki, how's the footwork going?
There's still a few times when I feel like I'm not far enough apart or too far apart, but I'm getting there.
So the answer to that is you're way ahead of almost everybody else who's new to this. This is something that people work on literally for months. The people who've been here before, wouldn't you say that's true? Wouldn't you say that you work on that bow step being far enough apart? And yes, I'm seeing all sorts of people do this or this or this so you are in very good company, and they're all just going, oh gosh, I remember how that felt. So so good for you. All right, I want us to go on, and I want us to do it twice more, and I want us to enjoy it. So look, don't worry if your feet aren't far enough apart. Don't worry about anything. I'm not going to give you too many clues. Could you, Marlene's going to have a puppet, right, Marlene? Isn't it Marlene that with the shoulders? Isn't that, Marlene's going to have a puppet, and just let her arms move. And if they don't even go in the right place, she's not going to worry about it, but she's going to feel very full and extended and connected. And everybody's just going to like really enjoy this, okay? So let's enjoy it. Here we are. The sun is shining. We're connected to the earth. And energy is coming up from the bottom and down from the top along our Tai Chi pole. And we open. Our arms just float up effortlessly like a puppeteer was pulling them up, but they come down powerfully enough to push this ball into water. Then my move to the left, I'm turning out to the right, more towards the corner, but then I turn back and close step. I'm pushing, turning, and look at that big bird. Oh, the tail feels so good. Coming back to the center, I turn yet again. My feet are now parallel. Back to the left as all my weight goes to the left. And I close and step. The small bird sings. Royal wave to that corner, the right corner. I'm pushing out. My arms stay as I push back, the front legs, the right leg straightens. I turn to the corner. My arm comes around, right arm comes around, and I press out, pushing with the back leg, absorbing with the front leg. My arms unreel. And now I'm pulling in. There's a little bit of a gentle, beautiful gorilla as I come back and up the diagonal. And stand up. And one more time. Get our practice in. A little faster. Opening. Arms floating up. Coming down. Shifting left. Turning out to the right. All our weight to the right. Arms go to push and we step and close. That macaw rises. I look to the side of the room. I come back to center a little to the right, and then I turn towards the right so that my legs are towards the corner. And as I push with my right foot, all my weight left, I'm pushing a button now with my left hand. I close my arms and step, right arm's on the bottom. It rises with a sparrow on it. Royal wave to my right corner, pushing out with that right hand. I push with the right foot, absorb with my left knee and foot and turn to the corner. I then reel my arms in and gently but firmly expand out in press. My arms unfold. I could grab the whole world, pull it in and make it mine over the garage door, and then up the diagonal for push. My both feet are firmly planted on the ground, but now I can push with the back ball and bring my left foot up. How'd we do, guys? We good? All right, so think about, you can email me, you can come, we have one more class on Grasp the Bird's Tail. Don't worry if you don't have the whole bow step or everything else yet. We do the bow step at the beginning of almost every module. We won't in December. You won't have to even worry about that. We'll be moving, the December's move will be, we'll be doing cloud hands. This is cloud hands. Lot we can do with balance and body shape and everything else. It'll be a 3-week probably module. And then the whole school, I think, closes for 1 or 2 weeks, depending on where things are happening. And then we start again in January. And there'll be more bow step learning then with everything that we do. Any final questions? So I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Didi.
You're very, very welcome. You are all really
Thank
welcome. I love the questions.
Yeah.
Didi,
Yeah.